In some ways, I was too harsh towards the Queer Kiwi in my recent short, but in other ways I wasn't harsh enough. I didn't go into enough details. Her kind of mindset, that we should get rid of borders all around, and that it's just land that people live on, is indeed something I'd expect an 8-year-old to say. I said a 5-year-old in that short, and perhaps that was too harsh, and potentially a bit inaccurate. But to believe that sort of thing as an adult is just mind-boggling. To believe in that requires a belief in a number of other things that are ridiculous, including the belief that all cultures are equal and are all fully compatible with all societies. Some cultures suck at coexisting in Western countries. Some cultures are incompatible with some societies. For example, people who put Sharia over the laws, standards, and customs of the countries they reside in are not going to integrate into those societies very well. Some of them are going to break the laws of those countries in order to live the lifestyles they would have elsewhere. Notice I'm saying some, I'm not saying all. These are very particular people. Heck, there are some cultures that originated within Western countries that have a hard time coexisting with everyone else, that have a hard time not breaking the laws, that have a hard time being polite and civilized. One just has to look at a handful of European countries to see what kind of havoc the notion of open borders can cause. Sexual assaults, violence, trash everywhere. It makes some of these countries look like the third world countries that some of these people originally came from. The notion that Western countries should just invite more of this is insane in my opinion. But I know that people who think like the Queer Kiwi aren't a tiny minority. As I said, there have been a number of anti-ICE protests with people chanting, "From Palestine to Mexico, all the walls have got to go." It verges on a religious belief. It's as stupid as believing in Noah's Ark, but it has far worse real-life consequences. I call out stupid religious beliefs. I call out stupid beliefs that come from people who consider themselves on the left. I call out stupidity and ignorance in general. Sometimes I'm not harsh enough, and sometimes I go a little too far with my criticisms. Some people think I was way too harsh towards the Queer Kiwi. I don't know if I fully agree. Again, I think maybe I was a little too harsh in some areas, but in others I don't think I was harsh enough. I didn't go into enough details. Something I didn't mention in my short is that I think it should be far easier and less expensive to become legal citizens. If it wasn't so difficult and expensive to become legal citizens, more decent, law-abiding people would take the steps to become legal citizens. I also didn't mention that I'm totally against the way the Trump administration has handled those who are already here illegally. I've said it in other videos, but not everyone knows that. Some people's first impressions of me are what I said in the short. Obama deported more people than any president in our history, but he didn't specifically target those who have been here for decades who have been trying to contribute to society. He didn't specifically target those who have committed no other crimes than just being here illegally. Under Obama, ICE didn't have to wear masks except for in very specific dangerous situations. The one area that I'll give props to the Trump administration is the way that he's handled the border itself. Record low numbers of illegal border crossings. That's the way it should be. Biden's somewhat open border policy was a disaster. I wish he would see consequences for what he did. We need strong borders. We need people who come here to try to integrate into society. We need to promote people to obey the laws. We need to punish those who commit crimes. We need jails. We need police officers. We need to deport illegal immigrants who commit other crimes. And sure, we need to promote social programs that can stop people from becoming criminals in the first place. We need all of those things. But arguing for no borders on a global level, in the naive belief that all cultures are equal and are compatible with all societies, is a grade school level understanding of the world. It's immature, it's childish, it ignores the realities we live in, and it's worth making fun of and criticizing. Just saying.